Hello students. Today in this video, we'll discuss the first chapter of Business Studies of class 11th, Business, Trade and Commerce. Today in this video, we'll discuss the topic Objectives of Business. Now, whenever we talk about business, business is an economic activity that is conducted to earn profit. So, in a nutshell, you can say the prime objective behind starting any business or behind establishing any business is what? Earning profit. So, without any objective, or you could say without the objective of the business, it's not possible to run the business activities. So, every business is directed to achieve for the achievement of certain objectives which refer to all the business people want to get in return for what they do. It is generally believed that business activities is carried on only for profit. Business persons themselves proclaim that their primary objective is to produce or distribute goods or services for profit. Now, basically, when you talk about business, basically, when you talk about any businessman, he proclaims that whatever business activity he is doing with the intention to earn profit. Every business is said to be an attempt on the part of the business people to get more than what has been spent or invested. So, whenever any individual does business activity, he has in his mind that whatever investment he has put into it in that particular business, he wants to get more than that. Means, like for example, if you have invested 100 rupees in your business, that you want in return 120, 115 and so any additional amount you required in respect of your capital. So, however, it is widely accepted nowadays that business enterprises are part of society and must have several objectives. Now, this is the traditional approach, or you could say the traditional objective of the business is just to earn profit. But if you talk about in the present scenario, as business is the small unit of the society, or you could say it is the integral part of the society, it has to look into the different aspects of the society too. Because if you are the part of the society, if you will not support the society, then it will be very difficult for the business to survive and prosper in the society. So, in a nutshell, you can say profit is found to be the leading objective but not the only one. So, profit is the objective of the business, but you cannot claim that this is the only objective for which the business has been established. Clear? So, there are multiple objectives of the business. Although earning profit cannot be the only objective of business, its importance cannot be ignored. Because as we know, for the survival of the business, if profit will not be there, it will not be possible. Because to meet out the expenses of the business, you must earn revenue or more revenue than your expenses. Then only you can survive in the market for a longer period of time. Clear? So, profit may be regarded as an essential objective of the business for various reasons. First, it is a source of income for business person. So, if the business will earn profit, then only it's going to be the source of income for the businessman. Second, it can be a source of finance for meeting expansions requirements of the business. If the finance will not be there, if the profit will not be there in the business, then it will not be easy for the business to meet out its day-to-day expenses or the expenditures of the business. So, to meet out the day-to-day expenses of the business and to do the expenditures in the business, you must earn profit. Third, it indicates the efficient working of the business. If the business is earning profit, then you can claim that your business is working efficiently, because the efficiency of the business can be judged out with the help of the profitability of the business. If you are running your business on loss, then you can say that the business is not working efficiently. So, earning profit reflects efficient working of the business too. Fourth one, it can be taken as society's approval of the utility of the business. Now, if your business will not earn profit, then you can come to the point, or you can make a point that your business is not being accepted by the society. On the other hand, if your business earns a lot of profit, clear, then you can claim that your product, your business has been accepted by the society. So, profit can be taken as an indicator of your acceptance in the society. Fifth one, it builds up the reputation of a business enterprise. Obvious, if your business is earning profit day by day, or your profit margin increases day by day, so it brings, could say, the reputation of the business in the market. Clear? Everyone's looks to you with head high, because your business is earning profit day by day, or it's could say profit earning capacity increasing day by day. So these are the different points which makes profit to be the essential objective of the business, but not the only one. However, too much emphasis on profit to the exclusion of other objective can be dangerous for good business. So as I've said, profit is not only the objective. There are multiple objectives that has to be taken into consideration by the businessman for the success of the business, or for the survival of the business in the long run. Obsessed with profit, business managers may neglect all other responsibilities towards customers, employees, investors, and society at large. They may even be inclined to exploit various sections of the society to earn immediate profit. So, if only profit will be the ultimate aim or the objective, then these issues like customers, employees, investors, society at a large will be ignored. And sometimes it may also happen that the business may exploit the various resources in the society for their benefit. So this may result in non-cooperation or even opposition from the affected people against the malpractice of the business enterprises. If you find your business in such kind of activities, then it will be difficult for your business to survive, because the opposition will come from the society. This you required, clear, to sail with the norms of the society too, or you have to abide with the social responsibilities of the society. Then only it will be easy for to survive, to earn profit in the long run. So on the basis of this, we can talk about the multiple objectives of the business. Now if we talk about the multiple objectives of business, one is market standing. Now when you talk about market standing, market standing refers to the position of enterprise in relation to its competitors. Now if you talk about market standing, so market standing refers to the position of the enterprise in relation to its competitors. Means, what is your position amongst your competitors in the market? For example, if 10 business houses are there in the same kind of business, so out of those 10, what is your position? That will call to be a market standing. So a business enterprise must aim at standing on stronger footing in terms of offering competitive products to its customers and serving them to their satisfaction. So your market standing will depend how you serve your customers. So always it is being required to offer competitive products and to serve to the maximum satisfaction of the consumer. Then only you will find yourself at the top of the competitors. So this is the one objective of the business, to be at the top amongst your customers, or in a nutshell you can say your market standing. Second is innovation. Now when you talk about innovation, innovation is the introduction of new ideas or methods in the way something is done or made. So whenever we talk about innovation, innovation means what? Whenever any new idea, new method will be introduced, clear, related to your product, then it's called to be innovation. There are two kinds of innovation in every business. One, innovation in product or service. So whenever you will make any kind of new addition to the features of your product or to your services, then it will call to be innovation. Like for example, if for example you are a cellular company or you are mobile manufacturing company, till time you don't have 4G connectivity in your mobile phones, but as the change in the technology, now you have adopted to provide 4G technology in your mobile phones. So it will called innovation. If till such time you don't have the feature of making or say having photos at the night, now you have added the features to your product that even you can click photos at night. So this is what called innovation. Then second, innovation in various skills and activities needed to supply them. Even the innovation can be done, clear, in various skills and activities needed to supply them. Like for example, till time you are selling your products with your own outlets. Now you have started to sell your product with the help of your e-commerce sites, like with the help of Flipkart, Amazon, or even you have started now making the sale directly online from your own website. So these are called to be innovation. Innovation can be done in packing, innovation can be done in terms of advertisement, innovation can be done in terms of your sales promotion. So innovation means anything new related to your business activity. So that can be done. No business enterprise can flourish in a competitive world without innovation. Therefore, innovation becomes an important objective. So every time you have to do some kind of innovation. If you will not do innovation in your goods and services, then it will not be easy for you to survive in the market for longer time, because every time the need, taste, preference of the customers changes. So you have to adopt those changes and you have to manufacture products, or you have to do the production of your products, and you have to provide your services as per the requirement or as per the satisfaction level of the consumer. So every time you have to do some kind of new to your product, or you have to add something new to your product, that is called innovation. The next is your productivity. Productivity is calculated by comparing the value of outputs with the value of inputs. Means how much inputs has been there, and with those inputs what amount of output you are going to get, that is called productivity. Like for example, if 100 units has been given as input as raw material, and out of that you are getting 150 units, so you can say, clear, this is what your productivity is. It is used as a measure of efficiency. So if with the least inputs you do more production, that is going to increase, or that is going to reflect the efficiency of the business. In order to ensure continuous survival and progress, in every enterprise must aim at greater productivity by the best use of available resources. So whatever resources that are available with the business, you must do the maximum production out of the same. So that is going to increase the productivity of the business. And if you want to survive in the business for long run, so you need to have more out of the available resources. The next is your physical and financial resources. Any business requires physical resources like plant, machines, office, etc., and financial resources like funds to be available to produce and supply goods and services to its customer. Now we talk about two kinds of resources. One is physical. Physical in the sense like plants, machinery, tools, equipments, raw material, offices. They all come under the category of physical resources. Means which have physical form, to which you can see, you can touch. On the other hand, you have financial resources. When you talk about financial resources, means what the funds that are being required by the business house to meet out its day-to-day activities requirements, financial requirements basically. The business enterprise must aim at acquiring these resources according to the requirement and use them efficiently. Now, too much physical resources is also a waste for the organization. Like for example, if you have 10 machines with you and only 8 are of use, means till time as per your productivity only 8 are being required. So, the balance 2 are of no use for you. So, it is not good for the business to have this surplus of the physical resources, or even the deficit of physical resources is also a harm for the business, because for doing more production you need more physical resources. So, it will not be possible if you are under physical resources. So, the balance should be there. Whatever amount of physical resources are required by the business houses, it must be with the business. The same with the finance. Clear? Over finance or under finance, both are harmful for the business. So, you must have a balanced financial resource with you. The next is your earning profits. We have already discussed about it, because earning profit, clear, is the aim of the business, because profit is known to be the return that we are going to get out of our business activities, and it's being necessary to earn profit, because without profit it's not easy for the business to survive for long. Or whatever investment you have made in the business, in return you must earn at least that much so that you can meet out your expenses and other expenditures of the business. The next is your manager's performance and development. Business enterprises need managers to conduct and coordinate business activities. As we know, managers are those individuals who helps to manage your business activities. So every business enterprise needs managers to conduct and coordinate business activities. Different kind of activities are there, different departments are there in the organization, and these different departments are conducting different kinds of functions for the attainment of the common goal. So a manager is need to coordinate the activities of the different individuals in the organization. So always you need to have the performance of the manager at the top. So you need to, could say, adopt various programs for motivating managers, clear, so that they can boost up the morale of the individuals who are working in the organization. Manager performance and development therefore is an important objective, because this is the only individual who is going to look after all the important aspects of the business. So if this individual is motivated, clear, will have high morale, then definitely it's going to reflect in the working of the organization. So always you need to have the better performance of your manager, and even the development of that individual is also required. His thought process, clear, his foresightedness, this all characteristics of him is going to give better results to the business in the future. So always you need to improve the performance, as well as you need to do the development of the manager. So that should also be the objective of the business. Then we talk about worker performance and attitude. Workers' performance and attitude determine their contribution towards productivity and profitability of any enterprise. Now, whenever we talk about workers' performance and attitude, means how that particular worker is performing for the organization, what his or her attitude towards the objectives and the policies of the organization. So, these two should be on the positive side for the organization. If the performance of the worker is good, definitely is going to help out to earn the profit or to increase the productivity of the business. On the other hand, if the attitude of the business of the worker is positive, then also it's going to add up to the atmosphere or to the environment of the organization with positivity. So both workers' performance and attitude should be positive and to be on the right direction. And definitely it's going to increase the productivity of the worker as well as the performance of the organization. So always the business should try to increase the performance of the worker as well as to motivate the individual, so that you can have the positive attitude of that individual for the organization. So it should also try to ensure a positive attitude on the part of the workers. So your worker who is working for you, who is working for the achievement of the organizational goal, should always have positivity in his or her attitude. So that should also be the objective of your business. The last one is social responsibility. Social responsibility refers to the obligation of business firms to contribute resources for solving social problems and work in a socially desirable manner. As I've told you, business is a small unit of the society. So, being the part of the society, it's being always desired from the organization or from the business house to fulfill social responsibilities. Now, when we talk about social responsibilities, these are basically the obligation of business firms to contribute resources for solving social problems and work in a society or in a socially desirable manner. Like for example, that is the responsibility of the social responsibility of the business to provide good employment opportunities to the citizens of the country. It is the social responsibility of the business to make the best utilization of available resources. They should not overexploit the natural resources. They must give better working conditions to their workers. They must provide good quality products at a reasonable price to the consumers. They must not use any raw material which is hazardous to the health. They should not decompose their waste, clear, in the open area of the nature. So these are the different social responsibility that has to be fulfilled by the business houses. So it should be the objective of the business to serve social responsibilities. So these are the multiple objectives that are being there from the point of view of the business for the different stakeholders who are directly or indirectly related to the business. So this is the topic, objectives of business. Hope you will like this video. Thank you.